All right, Shalom. Real Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out, prophesying the downfall of this present evil world. All right, and the rising of the kingdom of heaven, which only Yasharahla would be Israel would be the rulers, the chosen people, which according to the Bible, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans are the biblical Hebrew Israelites, all right, the chosen people of the Most High, Yahweh, and his son Yahweh Shah. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, which are the elders of all of Israel, whether you could receive it. And salutations to all the Akim that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the globe. And quick little lesson, which is a response to the brother Uriah from GMS Chicago, did a video called Examine Thyself. All right. And the brothers here in Chicago are just doing a response to that video as well. So through the Spirit, put a few precepts together to just add my 2 cents in through the Spirit. All right. So like I always like to start off, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the biblical Hebrew Israelites. All right. And so we have to examine ourselves to make sure we're going according to what the word says, how a Hebrew Israelite should live, conduct himself, be, our train of thought, our mindset, all that, all right? Because when you you go in for examination, or you have exams, or matter of fact, I'll get the just the regular definition of examine. All right. It says examine, to inspect or scrutinize carefully. It says to observe, test, or investigate a person's body or any part of it, especially in order to evaluate general health or determine the cause of illness. To inquire into or investigate, it says to test the knowledge, reactions, or qualifications of. All right. It says, to test the qualifications of a pupil, candidate, etc., as by questions or assigning tasks. It says to subject to legal inquisition, put to question in regard to conduct or to knowledge of facts. All right. So if like people they have exams in school, so they're being examined to see how much they know, how much they know according to basically what they should know to do a certain to have you have a certain job that requires you to know this, that, or the other thing, or you're in a certain field or you're in school to learn a certain field so you can go ahead and do that job, and you get examined or have exams to see how much you know, to see if you're qualified to do this. All right. Or you go get an examination at the hospital, to see if your body is, where it should be health-wise to continue to live a healthy, prosperous life. All right. So we need to examine ourselves to see if we're living according to the word of the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah. All right. We need to examine ourselves to see if we're in line with what the scriptures say a man of the Lord would be, and how they would be, how they act, how they conduct themselves, how they live. All right. So with that, I'm going to hit the first scripture, of course, is 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. This is 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. It says, examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. So to have this faith, because the scriptures talk about it was a gift. Matter of fact, let me just get it in Ephesians. It says, this is Ephesians 2, chapter 2, verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is a gift of the Most High. So to see if we have the true gift of faith for salvation, because ultimately we're trying to be saved on the first go around, and then there's qualifications that you have to meet, that the scripture says that a person that is a Hebrew Israelite and part of the elect number to have salvation on the first go around has to know this, know that, do this, live like this, and though they have to have those qualifications to be qualified to be part of that elect. So now here is the book that's giving you all the qualifications, giving you all the things that you need to be, you need to have, you need to know, you need to do, you need to think, you need to have faith in this truth and in truth. All right? So you have to examine yourself to see if you actually are in that faith. All right, and if you have faith, and for those that the scripture says that they gonna have faith, these men of the Lord, they have faith, and they're proving their faith by how they live, their works, and so on and so forth. So now we have to examine ourselves to see if we fall into that category. All right, it's back in 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. It says, examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. So you can test your own selves by reading these words and like, okay, this is what a man of the Lord, this is how he is, this is what Paul did, because Paul was a man of the Lord. All right, so this is how Paul acted, this is what Paul did, this is what Paul thought, and ultimately it's Yahushua, because Yahushua is the only one who lived and lived perfectly. So we would strive to be like that, even though we could never measure up to that. All right, but at the same time we still strive for that and try our best. All right, because we know that Yahushua that came down living in the flesh lived perfectly, and he was the perfect example of a man of the Lord. He was a perfect example of the elect, and how they should be. All right. And so we have to test ourselves. Okay, just like that old saying that the world say, what would Jesus do? But in this case, we know that those who are in the truth, all right, and have faith in the truth, we know that his name is Yahushua and that his name is not Jesus. So then we would take that and say, all right, what would Yahushua do? A lot of times I find myself, about to do a particular thing, and I'll be like, man, that's, would Yahushua do that? You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, no, I cut myself. No. Just like I got cut, just watching the brother Uriah's video on examining yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because the word, it cuts you, and I'm cutting myself, by reading this and having the understanding, because it's like, am I doing the best that I can do? I don't believe I am. You know what I'm saying? I need to do better. It says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Because it says the only way that you're going to be saved is through faith. All right? So are we in the actual true faith? But then here's the book that's giving you the explanation of those who came before us that were men of the Lord, that did have that faith, and how they lived, how they conducted themselves. All right? You know? So it says, prove your own selves. Test your own self. All right? It says, know ye not your own selves, how that Yahushua is in you, except ye be reprobates. All right? Yahushua is in us, except we have a lack of judgment. We void of judgment and the understanding of what's going to happen if we live a certain way or do certain things. You know what I'm saying? No, it's a certain way that a man of the Lord should be. A man of the Lord should act. A man of the Lord should think. All right? So we have to examine ourselves to see if we fall in line with the men of the Lord in the scriptures. All right? So I'm going to hit Lamentations 3:40. All right? This is Lamentations chapter 3, verse 40. It says, let us search and try our ways and turn again unto the Lord. And that turn, I'm pretty sure that is shawab, which means return. All right, I haven't looked it up, but it says, let us search. Like if we lost some money or something, I mean, we searching high and low, wide, I mean, tracking our steps, you know, searching. So that's how we should be to search and try our ways. All right? Search to see how we're living, if we're living according to a man of the Lord in the Bible. All right? Try our ways. Test our ways. You know what I'm saying? To see, test yourself. You know, search yourself. Look deep down in yourself and be like, okay, well, this is what a man of the Lord went through. Am I going through? Because all the men of the Lord went through bullshit. But guess what? They kept the faith. They stayed strong. They stayed prayed up. They stayed with the fear of the Lord. You know, they stayed doing their conduct, doing what a man of the Lord should do. All right? And you have examples of these cats that's in these churches, whether they call themselves preachers, deacons, teach, whatever, you know, that here it is, they're not going through what a man of the Lord is going through. They looked at you know, they sat on a pedestal. They look, hey, pastor. Nobody's talking about them. You know, nobody's getting down on them. Nobody's reproaching them, shaming them. You know, like the true men of the Lord, all of them. All men of the Lord has been shamed, has been beat, jailed, killed, you know, for the word's sake, for telling the truth. All right? So now we got to, you know, search and try our ways, you know. And then after we search and try and find out certain things, then we have to turn again to the Lord and start doing what's right according to the scriptures, according to the men of the Lord and what they did. All right? We have to follow, like Paul said, be ye followers of me as I am of Yahushua. All right? So if we following a man of the Lord, you know, and so we testing ourselves to see, okay, here it is, this straight and narrow, like the scripture in one of my favorites in Second Esdras. It says, hey, we on our way to the broad, to this field, which is the kingdom. And there's only one straight, narrow, so small that only one person can go there at a time. So if somebody's ahead of you, headed that way, they have the path, they have the route, you know. So you want to do everything that person is doing, because they're ultimately following somebody, and at the head of the line is Yahushua. So ultimately we following who's at the head of the line. which is Yahushua. But we understand that there's men that Yahweh and Yahushua has set up to be behind them, and men behind them, men behind them. All right, but guess what? We're following that man in front of us, all right, to Yahushua, to the kingdom, to get back in good graces with Yahweh and be in the kingdom and be in rulership. All right, so we have to make sure, like, okay, search our ways to make sure we're doing exactly the person that's in front of us, that's headed to the kingdom, that we're doing just like that. Okay. My next scripture is Psalms 78 and 7. This is Psalms 78 and 7. It says that they might set their hope in the Most High, and not forget the works of the Most High, but keep his commandments, and might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with the Most High. So we don't want to follow a cat like that. We don't want to follow those who came before us that did it the wrong way, which is the reason why we're in this predicament that we are. Even though we are our fathers, okay, and we all have fucked up, but those who continue in that, we don't want to follow that. We know we search and try our ways, and if our ways is like that, we gotta get it correct, because that's not the way to salvation. That's the way leading to destruction. And like the scriptures say, and many shall follow their pernicious ways. In Peter, it says, and many shall follow their pernicious ways. All right, their destructive ways. That's why you have many so-called Christians, Baptists, Lutherans, many Catholics, many Muslims, many Seventh-day Adventists, many Jehovah's Witnesses, many, all the Buddhists, all these, false religions and philosophies. And even, like I say, even if you got the book and you following a false doctrine, that still lead to destruction. So you have to test your way and try your ways, examine yourself to see if you're headed down the wrong way and to destruction, or you headed down the right way, and everything that the man of the Lord that we read about went through, you're going through the same thing. You're trying to act the same way, be the same way, do the same things, think the same way, be on one accord. All right? Because, like I said, these cats are headed the wrong way. And you got to test yourself and examine yourself to see if what am I following these cats. I'm going to read it again. It says, and might not be as, verse 7, it says, that they might set their hope in the Most High and not forget the works of the Most High, but keep his commandments, and might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart aright, set not their mind aright. Like the brother Ainap in Indianapolis, he said, get your mind right. Here it is right here. It says they set not their heart aright. They didn't set their mind right. If you set your mind right, you're examining yourself. Each step you take, each step you take, you want to be led by the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and you basically following a man that's leading you to the kingdom. All right. It says, and whose spirit was not steadfast with the Most High. All right. So we don't want to follow that. All right. This is 1 Corinthians 11. 1 Corinthians 11 and 27. It says, Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the blood of the Lord. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body, and not having no clue and understanding of the scriptures. They just sit up, they go to church, listen to their pastor, and then just live how they want to live. Which the pastor's living how they want to live. And they eating this cup, drinking of this cup unworthily, because they not doing it to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and live accordingly. All right? They doing it for some vain glory. They doing it for filthy lucre, or whatever reason that they're doing it for. They're not doing it worthily. They're doing it unworthily. So we have to examine ourselves to see, if we eating and drinking of that cup worthily or unworthily. All right? Verse 28 again, it says, but let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. All right? And do it the right way. All right? Because like the scripture say in Romans 10, for my people have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. For them going to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High. It's not about the morals of this world. It's not about the morals of what Esau, Edom, who's the so-called white man. It's not about what he say is moral and righteous and correct. It's about what the Bible say is moral, righteous, and correct, but in truth. And that's why you have to learn from a true man of the Lord that's being led by the Spirit. And if you're being led by the Spirit, guess what? You going precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little. You're going into the etymology of words. Because just looking at the English, you're not going to get the true understanding of these scriptures. You're not. You have to go into the etymology of the words. All right? So you have to examine yourself. All right? To see if you eating and drinking of that cup worthily. All right? This is Psalm 17 and 5. Psalms chapter 17, verse 5. It says, hold up my goings in thy paths, that my footsteps slip not. So we got to ask the Most High, you hold up my goings and my paths. All right? Hold up my goings in my path. All right, that I'm walking that straight and narrow path. Please, you do it. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, help me. Hold up my goings in thy paths, that my footsteps slip not. I don't want to go to the right or to the left, because like in second entrance, to the right or the left is a fire or a deep water. Fire, I'm gonna burn. Deep water, I'm gonna drown. So if my foot slip and go some way, I'm dead. I'm fucked up. No salvation for me. So Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Baba Kusha, please hold up my goings in thy paths, and them righteous path, and lead me, and the teachers that you set up, let me hear you, because it says my sheep hear my voice. And the voice of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai right now are his prophets, the men of the Lord that's here on the earth. whether you believe it or not. Because if you don't, then guess what? You're not headed down that right path. Because he set it up like that. He set up men to teach. It says in Romans chapter 10, how would they learn without a preacher? The preacher is a man on earth. And there's men that set up that the Lord left in authority. Like he said in Mark, he would leave some men in authority. Whether you believe it or not, those men are the apostles of Great Millstone on down. All right? This is, and it'll be manifest. It'll be manifest. And this ain't about man pleasing. It's about pleasing Yahweh Shem Yahushai and going according to the book. The book said that it would be some men and basically the voice of the Most High would be some men on the earth. All right? That he set up to teach our people. And we already know that only the elect of our people are going to adhere to it. All right? This is Psalms 119 and 129. So this is Psalms chapter 119, verse 129. All right? It says, thy testimonies are wonderful. Therefore doth my soul keep them. Where could you find the testimonies? Right here. And we have to keep them. All right? And do according to them. So we have to examine ourselves to see if we're keeping them. All right? In truth. It has to be in truth, because the Most High said, for those who worship me, must worship me in spirit and in truth. Must worship me in spirit and must worship me in truth. Because if you just worshiping God and Jesus and have no clue, you know, who he is, what he was about, who he came for, who he loves, and you going about, oh, well, the morals of men, the morals of Esau, the morals of the wicked, the morals of our enemy, the morals of this present evil world, then we have not submitted ourselves to the righteousness of the Most High. Because if you submit yourself to the righteousness of the Most High and you're doing what's right, guess what? The world is looking at you like you're evil, like you're a terrorist, like you're bad, like you're not good, because that's how they looked at Yahushua. That's how they looked at the men of the Lord. All right? And that was our people, let alone the world. All right? Verse 130. It says, the entrance of thy words giveth light. It giveth understanding unto the simple. I opened my mouth and panted, for I longed for thy commandments. Look thou upon me, and be merciful unto me, as thou used to do unto those that love thy name. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. So we praying that the Most High order our steps. All right? And you have to think about that at each step you take. All right, would Yahushua do this? Take this step. All right, would he take this step? Everything that I enterprise to do, you know, it talks about getting wise counsel. That's in the Apocrypha. I'm not 100% sure, but look it up. Enterprise. And so everything that that each step that we take, we have to examine ourselves. Are we doing what's right? All right, I'm going to do this. Am I doing what's right according to the scriptures? All right, that's what we have to do. Examine ourselves. All right, and I'm cutting myself, with this. So, because I gotta get